City Hub Academy participants. Welcome to Bremen. I'm sorry you can't be here personally today, but you know, as they say, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Right. So that means making the best of the situation. That means I'll be taking you on a virtual tour of Bremen. We'll be covering obviously a few mobilpunkte and mobilpunktchen. We'll also see some interesting cycling infrastructure in Bremen and a few historical sites that you also would have seen. So enjoy the tour and let's get started. Welcome. This is our first stop on the tour, and it's where it all began here in Bremen in 2003. This is the very first mobilpunkt that we planned in 2003, and it includes all of the classic elements. The sign you just saw on the left, hopefully, key safe for the car share vehicles, and some bicycle parking behind them, and 5 car share vehicle parking bays. What's also important here, and that's what makes it a mobilpunkt, is the link to public transport. So behind us here, lovely assistant Emma is just panning around, is the public transport stop. It's a bus and tram line leading outside of the city center. All those modes combined make this a mobilpunkt. It allows easy transfer between modes. People can arrive here at the mobilpunkt, at the car share station, by bus and by tram, and come collect the vehicle that they've booked. So what made the mobilpunkt in Germany really special in 2003 was designating public space for the purpose of car sharing. Reserved parking bays for car sharing that were locked by collapsible bollard like this, so that when the car share vehicle is away, nobody else can park here. When they return, the users have a key. They simply unlock and fold back down, and then they can park here. So they don't spend a lot of time looking for a parking space, which is one of the advantages of car sharing. We also mark where possible with signage, so this space is reserved for car share vehicles. Those are the large hubs with 4 or more car share vehicles, usually feature a key safe. It makes it easier for the provider to move vehicles around between different stations because they simply have to replace the key and the vehicle. When you've booked a car, you come with your membership card, you hold it up against the safe, put in your PIN, it unlocks, and there you are. We move on to the next mobilpunkt, but I'd like to take you down one of our newest features in cycling infrastructure here, one of the new Fahrradstraßen, that's the cycling street, where cyclists have priority, and we've laid down a red carpet for them. This obviously isn't a mobilpunkt, but a feature that I would show you if we weren't cycling together in Bremen as well. This is called the Stern. It's a star. It's a very special kind of roundabout that we have in the city, which gives priority to cyclists in the center of the roundabout, as well as to public transport through the middle of the roundabout. It was redesigned a few years ago so that vehicles exiting the roundabout exit at a 90-degree angle. And then you can see the tram coming, and gives more space and more visibility to cyclists. And a lovely assistant Emma here is going to demonstrate the ease of cycling around this roundabout in Bremen. So, this is our third stop. This is what we call a mobilpunkt. This is a small car share station in the neighborhoods with maximum 2 to 3 vehicles. This is where the journeys start, and these are more for neighborhood use. Before we started out the mobilpunkt, which is a more larger, more centralized hub. This is the more decentralized hub. In Bremen we started with the mobilpunktchen with some pilot stations in 2013 and have been successively expanding the network of mobilpunktchen over the past few years, building about 8 to 10 new of these stations each year. And we're working on increasing the density of car share stations to a maximum of 300 meters between each station. So mobilpunktchen next to the car share vehicles, you can see one is on the road at the moment, and one is still parked here. We also have standard bicycle parking, and in this sort of lengthwise configuration we frame the parking space. Maybe you noticed on the video on the way here, there are lots of cars in this neighborhood, more than there should be. And the legal parking situation in a street like this is one row of cars on one side of the street. Not both sides, and certainly not on the pavement. So when we design the mobilpunktchen, we also try to improve or make a contribution to parking in the neighborhoods, showing people what the legal way and the ordered way of parking is, where the cars should be, by the way we frame it, but also how we design the intersection. And at this location, you can see right across the street a major hospital. Illegal parking in this intersection was always a problem, which is a challenge for the emergency services vehicles that need to get through here on a regular basis. So not only did we build a car share station here, we also improved the intersection so that illegal parking isn't possible here anymore, and we also made sure that the intersections were barrier-free for people in walkers, wheelchairs, bicycles, but also with people with visual impairments, with these tactile elements on the ground, for instance. So you might ask what this is for, this funny thing. One of the lessons we learned when designing mobilpunktchen in the lengthwise configuration is that when both vehicles are gone, it's possible to illegally park the car here. So we came up with this simple solution. When both cars are gone and the pollards are up, it's not possible to park in between. And they're made out of rubber, so that the car share driver, who's maybe typically an occasional driver rather than a practiced parker, it's not so bad if they run into it. Our newest mobilpunktchen in Bremen. It was completed in autumn of 2019, and as you can see, we're working with some new pictograms here to indicate, in addition to the collapsible pollards and the signage, there's something different going on here. This is a special space. This design was developed in the Netherlands as part of the Green Deal car sharing, and through the Share North project, we've decided to use it here in Bremen as well. It's part of the transnational cooperation. This is a mobilpunktchen because of the 3 parking bays, but the standard element, bicycle parking, the signage, very specific signage to create visibility for car share and accessibility here in the neighborhood. This is one of 44 mobilpunkt and mobilpunktchen that we have in Bremen, and they make up 1/3 of the total car share stations. So more than 110 car sharing stations in Bremen at the moment, and 1/3 of them are the mobilpunkte planned by the city. A few years ago, this street was entirely opened up for canal redo or renewal. So we piggybacked on it and included a mobilpunktchen in street design in the beginning. We can't always do that, but we try to piggyback as often as possible. It saves us money, time, and it's just a part of efficient transport planning. It's only one construction site for the neighborhood, so it also means less stress for the neighborhood. This mobilpunktchen has 3 car share vehicles. The rubber pollards you saw before, mobilpunkt sign, and in a rare case a key safe for access to the vehicles. What's really neat about this street, that's not cool, we have some of those as well. I'm sure you do in your city as well. Testosterone and chrome. But what's really cool about this street is it was designed as a climate adaptive street. That means adapted for heavy rain events. The position of the parking bays, for instance, the lowered parking bays allows rainwater to stay on the sides of the street for a longer time after a heavy rain event rather than rushing straight into our canals. The pavement, the parking bays is semi-permeable pavement. The rainwater to percolate through the surfaces rather than run directly off. And the profile of the street design also ensures that water runs off to the side and can stay in these lowered basins also around the trees. The trees chosen for this street design are particularly suited to higher temperatures in the city through the urban heat island effect. So a lot of things were combined in this street design. Improved cycling and pedestrian facilities, climate adaptive design, and a car share station not far from the public transport stop. This is an entirely new development area. It used to be the former harbour area in Bremen. It's being developed by our economic development agency and it is booming. As you maybe saw the cranes in the images before. Buildings are popping up here as well. One of the things that we do with mobilpunkte is try to integrate them into new housing developments, which bring car sharing to users that are moving here and that are most likely to change their mobility behavior because they're making major change in their life. They're moving to a new place. We work with investors, with housing developers to integrate car sharing into their mobility concept. was our reason for building the mobilpunkt here. We saw the classic public transport, obviously, the bicycle parking, the signage, and 4 beautiful car parking bays for all of the users that are going to be living here in this area. While Emma pans around the area to show you the neighborhood, you can see, oh, this is one of the major challenges building mobility hubs in new housing developments, is getting the timing just right. At this mobilpunkt, for example, the services are here, the mobilpunkt is ready to be used, but the users we built it for aren't quite here yet. Whereas in a different location, you'll see in a few seconds, we face a different challenge. So, we're at our next mobilpunkt in the Überseestadt. You may be asking yourself, well, where is it? This is the other challenge I mentioned. That when you're combining measures in new development areas, getting the timing right is the most difficult. So, on the contrary to the other site, people are already living here and it's quite a densely populated area. The street design isn't finished yet. And that means the mobilpunkt with 3 car share parking bays that will be planned here isn't finished just yet. Especially for the American members of our audience today. When your Department of Transport says, we can't do bicycle infrastructure on the motorway, you say, yes we can. Above is the B65, the interstate that crosses the state of Bremen for cars and trucks only. Underneath is the bicycle and pedestrian bridge, like the same infrastructure. I couldn't take you on a tour of Bremen without taking you to one of the spots with the most beautiful view of and from the river. This pedestrian bridge that we're standing on connects the north and the south part of the cities, the old city centre, with the Neustadt, new part of town. Just panning on. This pedestrian bridge is one of the 4 bridges that connects the north and south side of Bremen across the river Weser. However, the difference is this bridge is only for pedestrians and cyclists that push across. One of the older routes from 2007 near a public transport stop and with 5 car share parking bays. What's special about this mobilpunkt is that we have charging infrastructure for electric car sharing vehicles integrated. At this station there is 1 electric car share vehicle at a charging station with 2 points. It means 1 slot is reserved for the car share vehicle and the other slot is publicly accessible. This is a nice combination for the energy provider because they have 1 anchor customer, i.e. the car share company, and on the other parking bay they have a higher turnover, or the potential for higher turnover, at least for private electricity companies. This is cooperation between the car share company and the energy provider that we have at 4 mobilpunkte currently in Bremen. And as we saw before, we are always consistently planning to integrate electric mobility when the market allows. This is our bicycle counter on the Wilhelm-Kaisen Bridge, the most frequented bridge by cyclists in Bremen. Today is the 16th of April 2020. 4,199 cyclists have already crossed this bridge. And for the year, that number is over 589,000. Obviously, no visit to Bremen would be complete without a visit to the historic Market Square that gives the city its UNESCO World Cultural Heritage. Behind me you see the City Hall, the historic City Hall in a Renaissance style, the statue of Roland the Protector. Emma's pointing to it right there, who protects the free Hanseatic city of Bremen. We have the St. Peter's Cathedral, St. Petri Dome. It's been on this site for more than 900 years. To the right of it we have the State Parliament, the City State Parliament, Bremische Bürgerschaft. And panning around to the right, the entry to the Böttchergasse, if you ever come, Böttcherstraße. I'm pointing to it there. It's definitely worth a visit. To the right of it, the beautiful Chamber of Commerce called the Schütting here in Bremen. And on the right hand side after that, beautifully restored facades. So you've all heard of the Bremen Town Musicians probably. The fairy tale written down by the Brothers Grimm. It's on the right there, on the right hand side of the Rathaus, the City Hall in Bremen, and Emma is going to demonstrate how to properly make a wish. The Bremen Town Musicians. You hold 2 hands, with 2 hands you hold the legs of the donkey and you make a wish. Cycling tour today is the largest mobilpunkt we have in Bremen. Centrally located in the year 2010. It started off with 5 car share parking bays. We've expanded over the years up to 12 vehicles now. This is located at a central transition point in the public transport network. A lot of buses and trams come together here. And this is the ideal site for specialty vehicles. So larger vehicles than we've seen at the previous stops that people need maybe just on the weekend or on a rare occasion that they're willing to travel a longer distance for. That's why the location near the public transport stop makes sense. You can take the bus or the tram here and switch and pick up one of the vehicles behind us. You see the usual component, the mobilpunkt signage. Behind us is the bus and tram stop. Here is the key safe featuring our car sharing mascot Udo, which stands for Use It, Don't Own It. And then behind us, around here, if you'll follow me, Emma. In addition to the car share parking bays, there's also reserved parking for taxis. There are 5 taxi bays here. You can tell by the signage. And car share and taxi services also complement each other. You can also come out here a bit and see that there are other services here at this mobilpunkt for the neighborhood. You combine trips like recycling your bottles or donating clothing. But obviously the most interesting feature here are the car share vehicles at the largest mobilpunkt. See the 12 car share parking bays with 5 different types of vehicles. We've got the big vans for transporting goods. We have the van for a 9-seater for transporting lots of people. Caddy, station wagon, or Kombi as we say in German, and some smaller sedans like the Ford Fiesta. So the whole range that makes car sharing attractive and makes it more flexible for users, because you can always have or find the type of vehicle you need, and the right type of vehicle you need for your very specific journey. Coming along. Thanks on this virtual cycling tour of Bremen for sticking around and watching to the end of this video. Obviously we couldn't cover everything about mobilpunkt planning and facts and strategies. That's what the rest of the seminar is for. But hopefully you got a nice impression of the city of Bremen.